Imagine walking into a small hamburger stand in California in the 1940s. There's no mascot, no giant logo, no golden arches glowing from miles away. Just a simple menu, fast service, and two brothers who believe food should be quick, cheap, and consistent. That small stand would eventually become one of the most powerful companies in human history. A company that feeds more than 69 million people every single day. A company with more locations than hospitals in many countries. A company so influential that its prices, its colors, and even its menu decisions can quietly affect global economies. This is not just the story of McDonald's. This is the story of how the world's most famous fast food brand transformed itself into one of the smartest real estate empires ever built, and why, in reality, McDonald's is not a food company at all. In the late 1940s, Richard and Maurice McDonald were struggling restaurant owners in San Bernardino, California. Like many others at the time, they sold hot dogs, barbecue, and milkshakes. Business was slow, profits were thin, and the restaurant industry was brutally competitive. So they made a radical decision. They shut everything down. When they reopened, everything had changed. The menu was reduced to just a few items: hamburgers, fries, soft drinks, and milkshakes. No waiters, no plates, no unnecessary steps. Every movement in the kitchen was timed, measured, and optimized like a factory assembly line. Customers loved it. Food came out fast, prices were low, quality was consistent. Without realizing it, the McDonald brothers had invented the modern fast food system. But here's the truth most people don't know. The brothers never dreamed of building a global empire. They were comfortable, they were cautious, and they were about to be outplayed by someone who understood business on an entirely different level. That man was Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc was not a chef. He was not a food expert. He was a salesman. When Ray Kroc discovered the McDonald Brothers restaurant, he didn't just see burgers. He saw a system that could be copied, scaled, and repeated endlessly. Kroc convinced the brothers to let him franchise their model. At first, the deal seemed harmless. The brothers would receive small royalties. Ray Kroc would handle expansion. But while the brothers remained focused on burgers and milkshakes, Ray Kroc was thinking about something else entirely: land. Early McDonald's franchises struggled. Many failed. Food margins were thin, and franchise owners often barely survived. That's when Ray Kroc made the decision that changed everything. He realized that the real money was not in selling food. It was in owning the land underneath the restaurants. So, McDonald's began buying the land where its restaurants were built. Then it leased that land back to franchise owners. This single strategy transformed McDonald's forever. No matter how much food a franchise sold or failed to sell, McDonald's still collected rent. If a franchise owner failed, McDonald's kept the property. If the location succeeded, McDonald's benefited even more. Today, McDonald's owns or controls the land beneath the majority of its locations worldwide. In other words, McDonald's is one of the largest real estate holders on the planet. Food is just the front door. This real estate model gave McDonald's power no competitor could match. It allowed strict control over franchise owners. It allowed global expansion with limited risk. And it created a steady stream of income that didn't depend on burgers at all. But the business truth goes even deeper. McDonald's perfectly psychological marketing long before social media existed. The golden arches were not just a logo. They were designed to trigger hunger and familiarity. Red and yellow were chosen because they stimulate appetite and urgency. Happy Meals were created not just for children. They were created to build brand loyalty before people were old enough to understand what advertising even was. By the time a child becomes an adult, McDonald's already feels familiar, comforting, safe. This is not accidental. It is strategic conditioning. Then there's the myth of cheap food. People believe McDonald's is cheap because the ingredients are cheap, but that's not the real reason. McDonald's uses massive scale to control suppliers. Farmers don't negotiate with McDonald's, they adapt to it. Entire agricultural systems have been reshaped to meet McDonald's standards for size, color, and efficiency. Potatoes grown for McDonald's fries are genetically selected to fit machines perfectly. Cows are raised under systems optimized for speed and uniformity. This level of control allows McDonald's to reduce costs while maintaining consistency across continents. Consistency is the real product. You can land in almost any country on Earth, walk into a McDonald's, and know exactly what you're getting. That predictability is worth billions. But consistency comes with consequences. Health concerns surrounding McDonald's have existed for decades. High sodium, high fat, processed ingredients. Portion sizes designed to encourage overconsumption. Yet McDonald's rarely positions itself as unhealthy. Instead, it focuses on choice. Salads, apple slices, smaller portions. Responsibility is quietly shifted to the consumer. This strategy protects the brand while keeping profits intact. And then there's the cultural impact. McDonald's is not just selling food, it is exporting a lifestyle. In many countries, McDonald's represents modernity, Western success, and affordability. Opening a McDonald's is often seen as an economic milestone. But critics argue this comes at a cost. Local food traditions fade, small restaurants struggle, uniform global taste replaces cultural diversity. This influence is so powerful that economists use the Big Mac index to compare purchasing power between countries. When a burger becomes a financial measurement, you know the brand has reached another level entirely. And yet, despite its power, McDonald's image is carefully controlled. Scandals are minimized, failures are reframed, menus are adjusted just enough to follow trends without changing the core system. Even when McDonald's experiments fail, the real estate model protects the company, because at the end of the day, the land still pays. And while McDonald's presents itself as a simple place for burgers and fries, behind the scenes, every decision is calculated with precision. Even the way a McDonald's kitchen is designed is not random. The placement of grills, fryers, drink machines, and counters follows strict rules meant to reduce movement, save seconds, and increase output. Seconds matter when you are serving millions of people every day. Time is money, and McDonald's treats time like a currency. The franchise system gives the illusion of independence. People believe franchise owners are entrepreneurs running their own businesses, but the reality is far more controlled. McDonald's dictates almost everything, from the suppliers you must use to the equipment you must buy to how long food can sit before being thrown away. Even the temperature of fry oil is regulated. Franchise owners don't work for McDonald's, but they also don't truly work for themselves. They operate inside a system where deviation is punished and obedience is rewarded. This control allows McDonald's to protect the brand at all costs. If a franchise owner fails to comply, McDonald's can terminate the agreement and take back the location. And because McDonald's owns the land, the risk is minimal. This is power disguised as partnership. But McDonald's influence doesn't stop at restaurants. It reaches into education, employment, and even childhood memories. For millions of people, McDonald's is their first job. The company markets itself as a stepping stone, a place to learn discipline, teamwork, and responsibility. Critics argue this normalizes low wages, repetitive labor, and limited upward mobility. Jobs are designed for efficiency, not fulfillment. Employees are replaceable. The system is not. Then there's the marketing machine. McDonald's doesn't just sell products. It advertises emotions, family, togetherness, happiness, belonging. Commercials rarely focus on nutrition. They focus on moments. A child smiling with a Happy Meal, friends laughing over fries, late-night cravings satisfied. These emotional associations are powerful. They bypass logic and speak directly to memory. This is not accidental. It is strategic conditioning. Then there's the resistance to change. McDonald's doesn't fight trends. It absorbs them. limited time offers, temporary menu changes, just enough adaptation to appear modern without disrupting the core system. And when something fails, it quietly disappears. Perhaps the most controversial truth lies in how McDonald's reshaped global eating habits. Before fast food dominance, meals were slower, local, cultural. McDonald's introduced speed as a virtue. Eating became something you fit into life, not something you planned around. This shift had consequences. Portion sizes grew, calories increased, ultra-processed food became normal. And yet responsibility was always framed as personal choice. You didn't have to eat it. But when a company controls supply chains, pricing, advertising, and accessibility, choice is no longer neutral. It is engineered.